Hey you guys, welcome to Food Print for Life and my YouTube channel. So today, as you see, I'm sitting down, meaning that we're probably not going to exercise as much today. So what I was thinking today that I would like to discuss with you, because I know I mentioned at one point that I don't eat starch after a certain time, meaning usually around 4 o'clock. And I have noticed that, especially with myself and with my clients, that this is a huge game changer. And so I figured, you know what? I think it's important to explain this because nutrition is a major source of how you get to your goals if your goals are to be healthy and fit. So the through tons of experimentation my whole life. I'm 53, so I started dancing when I was about 3 years old, and then I started getting into the gym and doing more training, like physical strength training when I was in college. So ever since then, I mean, I've literally been in and out of a gym, but I've gone through so many periods where I'm like, what is wrong? I'm working so hard in the gym. I work out 2 hours a day. Why am I not seeing any results? Why do I feel puffy? All of that. Okay. I know we've all gone through that, and it's frustrating as hell, especially if you're working really hard in the gym, exercising, wherever you are, and you're going, like, is this worth it? And a lot of people get so disappointed, they say, screw it, and they just stop. Well, again, you know, fitness is not just to look good as much as that is usually what gets us in the gym is saying, I want to look good. But it just is the way to prevent your life from really being, well, I guess I should say it another way. It's to help your life be much better as you get older. So the thing with starch that I learned, because again, when I was younger in my 20s, you know, it was whenever I heard calories in, calories out, I was like, oh, well, I guess it doesn't really matter what I eat. And I remember there were times when I would eat like 4 bagels in a day and think, well, you know, if each bagel is like, 400 calories, let's see, 4 times 4 is 16. So that's about, 1,600 calories, which is a pretty good thing for someone who works out, twice a day. Okay, well, my body was empty. There was no nutritional value whatsoever in the bagel, and therefore my body was just not getting what it needed. I'm straying, so I'm going to go back to my starch, what I started on, and I can come back and do other videos for more nutritional stuff. Okay, let's talk about starch. What is starch? So here's how I explain it, because a lot of people will say, oh, I don't eat carbs. I don't eat carbs. And I go, well, let me ask you this. Do you eat fruits and vegetables? And they go, oh, yeah. I say, well, those are carbohydrates. And they're like, oh, no, but not that one. Okay, so then I thought, all right, how do I break it down? So I think of carbohydrates up here. Then there are 2 columns that go down this way. This column, fruits and vegetables. This column, and beans I include in fruits and vegetables. This column, bread, rice, potatoes, quinoa, what am I forgetting? Crackers, tortillas, anything again that's starchy, potato chips, tortilla chips. Carbohydrates have 2 columns. So when I talk about starch, that's why I have started using the word starch so that people aren't confused. Because again, most people say, I don't eat carbs. That's not true. Make sure that your words match your actions. I don't eat starch, but I do eat carbohydrates in the form of fruits or vegetables. So that's one way you could say it. All right, so what I learned was the starch column, even if it's whole grain, even if it's, again, like quinoa, which is an amazing food. It's very high in protein. It's really good for you. Brown rice. There are tons of great crackers that are just 100% clean. But what I realized is most of us come home after work when we were working. And I'm not making light of that at all. Believe me, I cannot wait to go back to work. So, as we come home from work, most of us, again, say, oh, I'm not hungry in the morning, I don't eat breakfast, and usually at lunch I'm not that hungry. And a lot of it is because we're going. There's things keeping us, occupied. And we're like, okay, I'm not thinking about food because I have so many other things and phone calls and emails and all of that. And I'm just not thinking about it because I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm hungry, even though I am, because there's too much going on up here to think about it. When we get home and we sit down, and all of a sudden, if we have not eaten during the day or eaten well, our blood sugar goes whoosh, and all of a sudden we're sitting down and we go, whoa, and we go, I am hungry and I want pasta. That's the other starch I forgot, sorry. So we crave because our blood sugar has not been fulfilled and our bodies have not been given any nutrients, vitamins, minerals, what it needs. Once it sits and you let it just go relax, the body then goes, oh my God, I'm starving. And you know what? I need a bagel. I need some pasta. I need some rice. There's nothing wrong with wanting it, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with those foods. But what I learned is when you come home and you sit, right, and you have a bowl of pasta, and you eat that bowl of pasta, or you eat the potatoes, or you eat the rice, then you walk over to the couch and you sit and you watch TV. Then you go over to your bedroom and you lay down and go to sleep. So, in between the time that you get home from work and you sit and you eat a big bowl of pasta or a lot of starch, and then you're going over to the couch and you're sitting, and then you're going over to the bed and then you're laying down, you are not using any of that starch energy. When you don't use that starch energy, starch, again, even if it's a good starch in the sense of a good bread, I love Ezekiel bread, but I still consider it a starch. Once you lay down in bed and you have not moved and used those starches, the starch actually then turns into sugar, and that sugar can turn into fat. And a few things can happen when you wake up. Number one, and one of the worst things, is you can wake up basically with a sugar hangover. Because you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I'm so groggy, oh, I don't know why, I just feel like I can't get out of bed, I don't want to go to work. Well, all of that pasta turned into sugar and is now in your body. And so it's kind of like if you sat down, during the day, at night, whenever it is, you ate a full pint of ice cream. Remember, that feeling of like, believe me, I love ice cream, and if I ate it all, I would first probably go, yeah, this tastes great. But then the after effect is what I don't want. So I have learned to think ahead. If I eat this bowl of pasta for dinner, and I'm not using it, and I'm going straight to sleep, and it's turning into sugar, and it's going to make me really groggy in the morning, and my pants might be tight, it's not worth it to me. Now, am I saying never to eat starch? No. So what I say to my clients and what I've done for me is I keep my starch anytime before 4 o'clock. So in the morning, of course, and again, I'll mention Ezekiel because I love their bread. Have Ezekiel toast with, some good natural peanut butter and a banana. Some of my clients are starting to love having like the avocado toast with some low sodium turkey bacon on it. There's you can put beans on it, as one of my clients did, which is just such a great idea. So there, and at lunch, if you want to have, the beans and rice and, pasta that way, you could have crackers with tuna. You can incorporate it. But just notice that after 4 o'clock, just cut it out. And excuse me, a lot of people think, oh my God, what do I do for dinner? What am I supposed to do if I can't eat starch? Well, think about it. Most of that is habit. Most of that is just something that's been ingrained in our heads that we have to have a meat and a potato and a vegetable. Well, it doesn't mean that you can't eat. I eat a ton at dinner, and I will kind of post some pictures of the stuff that I eat, and I eat the whole thing. I mean, I literally eat the whole bowl. And what I'm talking about is like, you've seen on the videos, a big bag of cauliflower rice or chopped broccoli, 2 chicken breasts. Last night I put sun-dried tomatoes in olive oil and garlic in there, and I mixed it all up. Oh my God, it was so good. It was a massive bowl, and I used my romaine lettuce. There it is again. And I filled it, and it was basically like I was eating tacos. And it was fabulous. Tasting, it filled me up. I actually, like halfway through, I was like, okay, enough. And I put it in the kitchen, and then about another hour later, I was hungry, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want to have to eat too much. And I went in, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have the rest of my dinner. So it just, the little teeny things that I can tell you, just to me, I call them game changers. It's not rocket science. These are my opinions. I'm not telling you that I'm not a doctor. I'm not, confessing anything of like medical, if you need, some people need to have starch at night. Some people need to have it all the time. That's fine. But what I'm talking about is if you have a goal to just kind of feel tighter in terms of your body, not so kind of, just, I called myself puffy because I was for a long time. I had a lot of muscle, but I had a lot of puff around the muscle. And that's why I discovered, like, oh my God, you know what it is I'm eating so much starch at night that it's just, I'm puffy when I wake up, and then it stays with me. Even if I went to the gym and I worked out for 2 hours, it never went away. So I just wanted to give you guys this tip. I know it was a very long tip. If you have any questions, please email me, foodprintforlife@gmail.com. You can go to my website, Foodprint for Life, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I would love that. Again, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, I love answering them. If I don't know, I will research and I will find the answer because I'm very solution-based. So if you ask me something, I want to find the solution. But in a nutshell, if you're struggling with kind of, again, like, why am I not like seeing any results from my workouts, Or what can I do now if I can't work out? How can I kind of help my body so that I'm not putting on a lot of extra weight when I'm sitting more? So that is a huge part of it. After 4 o'clock, no more bread, pasta, potatoes, rice, quinoa, crackers. Okay? And a lot, again, you know, there. I know so many of you are thinking, well, what am I going to have? What am I going to have? I mean, I eat the same kind of pasta just without the pasta. So I'll do chicken and broccoli and spinach and olives and artichoke hearts and make just an amazing thing of you know, wonderful pasta without the pasta. I'll put the pasta sauce on it. It tastes great. So just remember that sometimes a lot of what we do is habit. A lot of what we do, we just don't understand. So if you want to try it for like a week and see how you feel. And I would love to know. So write me back after a week. Let me know if it worked. Let me know if you have questions. But I hope this helped, and enjoy.